3 small things that are going to have a huge impact on the emotional health of your relationship. And you can start doing these things today, and it's going to make a big difference. Hey there, I'm Lauren. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I specialize in relationship issues and sex therapy. And if you want to learn how to create and cultivate the relationships you deserve, be sure to follow along. Number 1, next time your partner comes to you with an issue, do not, and I repeat, do not jump right to problem solving. That tends to be our natural instinct because it's hard for us to see our partners in pain. And if we think we can help them not feel in pain, we jump to problem solving. Here's what you should do. This will fix it. This will make it all feel better. It comes from a loving place, but what it actually does for our partner is makes them feel invalidated, unheard, and unseen, and totally just alone. And then they feel disconnected from us, and it just really sets us up for disaster. So instead, what I want you to do is when your partner comes to you with an issue, ask them, do you need me to problem solve or do you need me to listen? This helps set you up for success because then you know exactly what your partner needs from you. So you can put on your problem-solving hat or you can put on your listening hat, and they feel really heard and seen because they know that you are trying to meet their need, and then you're able to meet that need. If they just need listening and you're just listening and validating and reflecting versus problem-solving and helping them work through something. This is a game changer. I can't tell you how many times I talk about this in couples therapy. We want to be heard most of the time. So unless your partner explicitly comes to you and says, help me solve this problem, and even then you can still do some listening, I want you to first go to, do you need some problem solving or do you need me to listen? And if you don't feel comfortable asking that, default to listening until you hear them explicitly ask for help. Number 2, using and instead of but. So often when our partners come to us and we disagree with them, we'll say, I hear you, but, and then we proceed to tell them why we think they're wrong or why they should see it a different way or feel a different way, and it just doesn't go well. That but, when we say, I hear you, but, discounts everything we've said before. So we might have had the great reflection, but it's going to discount all that because now I'm going to debate you essentially. And then what this does is put the other person on the defensive. Well, now I have to justify why I feel this way or stand up for myself. And it just creates disconnection. Using the word and is really important. It holds space for both of your experiences to be true. I hear you, and I have a different perspective. Can I share that with you? Right? You may not say it explicitly like that, but it's a whole mindset shift of but versus and. And says you can have your experience, you can have your truth. I may not agree with it. I also recognize that I have my own experience too. So that and says you may be hurt and I may be hurt as well. One doesn't discount the other. It's a huge game changer, even though it's a small shift in language, because it's also about how we're perceiving it and how we are conveying to our partners that both of these things can be true and we both want to feel heard. Number 3, focusing more on what you want from the relationship versus what you don't want. So often we focus on saying, well, I don't like this, I don't want this, we shouldn't do this anymore. And that is important. We want to be able to tell our partner where our limits are or what we don't like or things that we're not finding acceptable. What we miss a lot of times is that second piece of saying, okay, well, don't do this. Well, what do you do, right? When you have a child, you want to tell them not just what not to do, but you need to teach them also what to do. It's similar in some ways with our partners. We have to give each other the handbook on us. So not just, these are the things I don't like. This is how I don't feel supported. This is how I don't feel heard. But this is how I feel supported and how I feel heard and how we can set these interactions up for success. So being able to communicate to your partner, I don't feel supported when you do this. Instead, saying, I feel really supported when you look me in the eye and you reflect back what you're hearing me say. Or when you know I've had a hard day and you bring home a Starbucks, or you turn on my favorite show, or you rub my feet. That makes me feel so supported and cared for and loved. It feels a lot more collaborative when we put it that way. It can be similar with sex, right? Well, I don't like this, I don't want to do that. Again, we want to communicate that to our partner. When do you feel really sexy? Oh, I feel so sexy when you rub my back. It makes me really in the mood and I feel so connected to you. Being able to say what we want and how our partner can support us and please us and make us feel loved and connected is really important. So making that shift is really helpful. Which of these 3 tips are you going to implement in your relationship first? And if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if you want more content on how to create and cultivate the relationships you deserve, be sure to follow along.